champion comes in believing that he has much to prove as Vernon Forrest does. In Forrest's case, the biggest thing I think he has to prove is he hit a wall in the 4th round of that first fight. He claims now it's because he was 6 to 10 pounds overweight, and the struggle to get down, that was the cause. We'll find out.
So you take a look at the numbers between these two, and the only one that's different, of course, is age. 9 years older is Forrest than Mora. Here are the rules. No 3 knockdown rule, no standing 8 count. A fighter cannot be saved with the bell in any round, including the final round, and only the referee can stop the fight. Let's go back and look at some of the numbers from the first fight between these two guys. And Forrest, remember, even though he said he was tired, he was exhausted, he had nothing left after the 4th round, he still came pretty close to winning the fight. He didn't throw nearly as many punches, he didn't land as many punches, and of course the punching percentage was in Mora's favor. So Mora did a little bit more. He probably correctly won the fight, but Forrest says you're going to be seeing a different Vernon Forrest this time you saw the last time.
Well, that's certainly what Forrest believes, and Moore has been emphatic about the answer to that is no, I'm not. And then after 3 rounds, he's going to realize he's in the same predicament he was when we squared off 5 months ago. And we'll find out whether or not that's really the case. There's a lot of people, unfortunately and unfairly to Sergio Mora, who say, well, he was a reality TV guy. Well, the reality is he's world champion.
Vernon, the Viper Forrest.
Well, Vernon Forrest looking pretty loosey-goosey here. As you can see, his record in title fights, he has been there. And, of course, Sergio Mora has not. This his first trip. Forrest says he was at the weight he is right now more than a week ago. He did not have to struggle at all to make weight. Feels good, says he has no excuses. I guess the big question is what's left in the tank.
That is the big question, and I'm sure walking in there, he's smiling and thinking to himself, the other guy had to struggle to make weight this time. Now, he's going to find out what that's all about, and he's going to find out that the Vernon Forrest he fought was just a replica of the real Vernon Forrest.
Well, he's been something of a mystery, man, and you just don't know, quite honestly, which Vernon Forrest is going to show up. If it's the one that showed up twice against Mosley, you got the real deal.
Well, you know, he slipped quite a bit from that fight. You know, he's 37 years old, and he's had a lot of injuries. Shoulder injuries that have forced him into a 2-year layoff. He's had, I believe, 3 shoulder operations. You know, those are hard things to overcome as you age. Having said that, he's been in shape for quite some period of time. One of the things is he had a 6-week camp, not a 3-month camp like he had for the first fight.
And now, the Latin Snake, Sergio Mora.
Well, Sergio Mora this time is the guy who had to drop weight. Not nearly what Vernon Forrest had to drop the last time, but he did have to drop a couple pounds, and that's the big question mark that's standing over his head as well.
Well, I know even Oscar De La Hoya was baffled by that. You know, you would think a young guy becomes a world champion. Now I want to protect that. I want to keep that belt as long as I can. What it means, we'll find out once the fight starts. Does it mean that he was overconfident? Does it mean that he's really a 160-pound guy, which is what he was up until he fought Vernon Forrest? He had always campaigned as a middleweight. Or does it mean he's nervous himself and knows he has a lot to prove, and that Vernon Forrest is in there to take him out and take the title away from him?
Well, he says, this is the fight that I make a statement. He said, obviously, there's more pressure to live up to being the champion, but you always have to remind yourself that this is what I've always wanted, he says, since age 15. So his first time as the champion, and we talked to him a lot about the difference between being the hunter and being the hunted, and right now he is the hunted.
Well, he did say to us, uneasy lies the head that wears the crown. So he's obviously read Shakespeare as well as boxes, and he's 100% right.
All right, with that, let's meet him. We go once more to the center of the ring, and here again is Michael Buffer. Mike.
From the MGM Grand of Las Vegas, this contest is brought to you by Golden Boy Promotions in association with Romanza Boxing Promotions, Gary Shaw Promotions, Tournament of Contenders, and Fight Night. Sponsored by Tecate Cerveza con Character, Cazadores, the one, with the the deer on it. Affliction Clothing and Southwest Airlines, low fares, no hidden fees. At ringside, the 3 judges scoring this contest, Bert Clements, Dick Howe, and Alan Rubenstein. And inside the ring, the referee in charge of the action, Vic Draculich. And now, this contest sanctioned by the Nevada State Athletic Commission, 12 rounds of boxing for the WBC Super Welterweight Championship of the World. Fighting out of the blue corner, wearing gold, official weight 154 pounds. This U.S. Olympian now has a professional record consisting of 40 victories, including 29 knockouts, only 3 defeats, 1 no decision. From Atlanta, Georgia, the challenger, former welterweight, former super welterweight champion of the world, Vernon, the Viper. And fighting out of the red corner, wearing red, official weight 154 pounds, 22 bouts, 21 victories, including 5 knockouts and 1 draw. From East LA, California, the reigning, defending, undefeated WBC Super Welterweight Champion of the World, the Latin Snake, Sergio.
For the WBC Super Welterweight title. You received your instructions in the dressing room. Again, I want to caution you. Any punch below this point, these are riding high. Any punch below this point is going to be called low. Any punches below this point are going to be called low. With that stated, I want you to obey my commands, protect yourselves at all times. Touch them up now. Good luck to both of you. Nope. Touch them up.
Vic Draculich insisting upon the shaking of hands. These are actually 2 nice guys, and a little gamesmanship is all that's going on right now.
Interesting exchange here, though. You know, Forrest did not look at him and tried to walk away.
So here we go, Mora's first attempt as the champion in a very different role than he was last time when there weren't a lot of expectations. Left hand from Forrest after a miss. Very little action to start things here. Largely feeling out process, even though they both know each other.
Well, these first 3 rounds where Vernon was most dominant in the first fight and then seemed to hit the wall. Both starting slowly and cautiously. More, no surprise, a little bit tight in his first title defense.
Well, Mora talked about coming out of the contender, and he didn't feel, what he said was, this is really a shortcut to a championship. That's what the contender did for him. And I think that's probably accurately put. I'm not sure there were too many people that thought he would win a championship quite as soon as he did coming out of the contender.
And he knows he's always fighting that label, that reality TV label, which seems a bit unfair once you've won a world championship.
Good shot to the ribs that time by Mora.
Both being pretty cautious and respectful here. You know, Mora has that herky-jerky style. It's hard to time. Ends up coming at you at some angles you don't expect.
Yeah, that's what Forrest said. He said it's very hard to get a read on.
He's up, he's down, his hands are up and down, his head's moving from right to left.
Punches up.
Draculich telling Mora to keep his punches up. That one landed low on the hip. Forrest not doing a whole lot in this first round.
He's not. He what is plan here is what he hopes to do is throw combinations that end with a left hook, which he thinks that Moore is vulnerable for if he properly sets him up.
That shot really kind of on top of the head of Moore.
Forrest is an odd combination of fighter because he's very cautious in a lot of ways. But if he gets hit, suddenly he stands right in there and he's banging away like he did with Mayorga in their 2 fights.
Well, the end of the first round, and I don't think anybody won it.
Well, nobody lost it, but I think that's a better way to
That's you're the optimist.
Keep him missing like that, right? He's trying to load you up with the right hand. Another thing he's trying to do, when you throw your jab at the body, he's trying to throw a left hook.
That's Dean Campbell's a trainer.
When you're jabbing down here, he's trying to do this. He's trying to come up with it. Keep your hand here. All right? Get around. Okay? Everything good? Good. All right. Hey, the legs are beautiful. Whenever he wants to get something going, move to the right.